Hello, this is Qyalms visiting again from the Grim Wayside, and today we have another puzzle box from the company EscapeWelt. This one is called the Secret Art Lock Box, and it's not a full-fledged puzzle box like some of their others, like Blackbeard's Compass. This is more along the lines of the Art Pirates Treasure Box or the Art Secret Maze Box, which we've done in previous videos. I will say that the main difference between those two lock boxes and this particular box, I feel like the mechanism for this is a lot more elegant than the other two. But all three of those are available for $30 right now on Amazon. And we're going to take a look at the box and see if we think that it's actually worth the $30. So it comes packaged in this nice box, which is great for gifting. I think the main purpose of this box is to give it to someone with a gift inside, and that person to enjoy actually opening the box. This particular box, you can buy it without the images on the outside, and it just looks like a plain wooden box with, the usual laser cutting. But this particular box, I got it as part of the Kickstarter for the iCube Dark and the iCube Light dueling boxes. I picked this one up as an add-on extra. And so it came with the images printed on it, and these images are Egyptian based. So the top of the lockbox has the compass degrees marked on it, so 0 through, back up to 360 on the top. There is a rotating piece that's right underneath when you have the 4 sliders, which are also on the top. When you have these 4 sliders in the correct positions, you're able to rotate this rotating dial. It has a little notch in it that's currently matched up with the 0 on the box. The little sliders have a neutral center position, a 3-dimensional triangle position, and then like a little mountain pointer position. On the bottom of the box, there's a series of symbols, and each one is associated with a different number of degrees. They're kind of mixed up. The real thing is about this box, because I've previously opened it, this is entirely unnecessary. When you are solving the box, you just turn it as far as you can possibly turn it, and then you move on to the next step. You don't need to know what degrees they're actually set to. So the bottom of the box, while you will see in part of the solution, is not actually necessary. The sides of the box have the legend of what your moves you're going to make running along the bottom. The very last symbol right here is the little unlock lock, and so that's the very final step where you actually unlock your box. So if you follow it back around the other 4 sides, that's where it starts. You want to match up the position of the sliders with the symbols that are on the box going around in the sequence that they go around. You do have to go in sequence to do it. So the symbols that you translate, I guess, from the strip along the bottom are found on the sides of the box up here. So like this one is a series of circles, concentric circles. It's going to be, you see a round, basically an empty circle, an empty circle, an empty circle, and then the 3-dimensional triangle. That means that your sliders are going to be in a neutral position, a neutral position, a neutral position, and then towards the 3-dimensional triangle. I guess I'll just call it a pyramid. This one, a little fish shaped symbol, has 2 of the pyramid triangles and then the little pointer triangles. So your positions for your sliders will be towards the pyramid, and then towards the opposite directions. None of them will be in the neutral position. I guess that these in-between symbols are supposed to maybe tell you how to turn the box, but I didn't find them necessary. So the symbol is going to be where do you put your sliders, presumably like it wants you to turn the box for some reason. And then the next one is the symbol for the degrees. Again, you can ignore all of the degree symbols. They're not necessary. So there's the concentric rings on this one, the little fish. On the next side, there is like a little clover and then an S. On this side, there's a T and some waves. And then on the final side, there's like a little, I guess we'll call it a teepee. It looks kind of like a teepee. And then some little rays of sunshine or whatever that lead around to the outside of the box. I will say one thing about the box that I don't understand, and if anybody knows why this is the case, on each side there's cutouts. So these two lines right here are actually completely open. I don't know if that's meant so that you can like stick, if you like very tightly roll up a dollar, you couldn't put a coin through it, but you might be able to put a piece of paper or a bill through this little slot. But on this side, there's two vertical ones that run along these cartouches, and I don't really know if that means anything. Similarly, on this side, there's the two lines, but on this side, there's a line right here, then there's 3 lines over on this side, and then 3 lines across the bottom. And again, they're not wide enough to put a coin in, so it's not really like a bank situation, and these would be very difficult to get even a dollar bill into. And then on this final side, you see 2 lines here. So each side is different and I can't figure out what it is. And if you know, please let me know, because it's perplexing to me and I'd love to have some idea. I don't know if that has anything to do with the way they originally constructed the box. I think EscapeWelt's has some boxes that you can assemble yourself, and I don't know if that has anything to do with that or not. That could be a complete guess on my part. So, in any case, once we have the legend and we know where we are, which slider positions we're putting them in by going around the box, and just to make this faster, I wrote it down over here on my iPad. I'm just gonna cheat a little bit so that I don't have to actually turn the box over and over again. Okay, I cheated. I wrote it all down because it was a lot easier this way. So for the first position, the little concentric circles, we have 3 neutrals, and then the one goes towards the pointer. No, goes towards the pyramid. And then you can turn it. It turns only that far, and you can't turn it anymore. Then on the next step was the symbol for the little T. So that one has a neutral position, there we go. Neutral position, a pointer, and then 2 neutrals, and that should give you this turn again. Then the next one gives you 2, and so you can tell that these actually can't always move, which gives you sort of a hint. You could actually like brute force this just by going through all of the possible slider combinations. It would take you a while. This particular step, we have the 2 that go towards the pointers and the 2 that goes towards the pyramids, and then you turn it again. Then the next step we have, I believe it goes like that, and I think that's it. There we go. So we turned the next step. Then we came to the little fishy. So we reverse some of these. And that gives us another turn. And then let's see. And then we could reverse it again. There we go. I did notice this one last step is just 5 degrees shy of being able to move the top of the box. So that's the only time where you don't move it as far as you possibly can. And that's the final step. And the top of the box just pulls off like that. So your little pointer ends up being about halfway between 90 degrees and 180 degrees. And yeah, so that's how the little slider puzzle worked. I felt like it was a little bit more elegant a solution than, say, like the pirate box. The pirate box is cute, but this is just a nicer looking box, but that's maybe an aesthetic preference that I have. The space inside the box, if you want to put any gifts in it, is quite large compared to the other ones, and is quite deep. So again, I don't know what these lines are. Maybe you can see them a little bit on the inside of the box. And if anybody knows what these mean inside, I would really love to know. But that is the, now that I turned it around so many times. I'll just put it on there. That is the Art Secret lockbox from the company EscapeWelt's. Is it worth $30? Not for me. I like to spend my $30 on a more sophisticated puzzle box. But again, if someone is a novice, or maybe if they like the Japanese boxes that tend to just be a series of sliding puzzles, this may be something that would appeal to that kind of fan of that particular kind of box. It's really what it reminds me of, is those traditional Japanese boxes. So that's going to be the last video of our EscapeWelt like gift box puzzles. So if you want to see the other two, either the Pirates box or the Maze box, check the playlists below to see those. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And if you want to see any more, in the description down below, you'll see a list of all the puzzles that I have. I'm happy to skip to any puzzle that you want to request. Just leave us a comment letting us know which puzzles you want to see. So thank you for visiting us and enjoying this puzzle box with me.